Without God, nobody created the universe, and no one decided our destiny, the late physical genius Stephen Hawking once wrote. It is a quote from the book Brief Answers to the Big Questions, the last publication of Stephen Hawking published by John Murray. In life, Hawking was a vocal champion of the Big Bang Theory. The idea that the universe began by exploding suddenly out of a singularity that is extremely smaller than an atom. From this speck emerged all the matter, energy, and empty space that the universe would ever contain, and all that raw material evolved into the cosmos we perceive today by following a strict set of scientific laws. To Hawking and many like-minded scientists, the combined laws of gravity, relativity, quantum physics, and a few other rules could explain everything that ever happened or ever will happen in our known universe. For centuries, it was believed that disabled people like me were living under a curse that was inflicted by God. Well, I suppose it's possible that I've upset someone up there, but I prefer to think that everything can be explained another way, by the laws of nature. If you believe in science, like I do, you believe that there are certain laws that are always obeyed. If you like, you can say the laws are the work of God, but that is more a definition of God than a proof of his existence, Hawking wrote. With the universe running on a scientifically guided autopilot, the only role for an all-powerful deity might be setting the initial conditions of the universe. So that those laws could take shape, a divine creator, who caused the Big Bang to bang, then stepped back to behold his work. Did God create the quantum laws that allowed the Big Bang to occur? I have no desire to offend anyone of faith, but I think science has a more compelling explanation than a divine creator. In his book written in 1988, A Brief History of Time, Hawking had seemed to accept the role of God in the creation of the universe. But in the new text, co-written with American physicist Leonard Mlodinow, he said new theories showed a creator is not necessary. In the past, Hawking almost never spoke directly about his religious views. However, he always said that humans are the pinnacle of evolution, and needs to be perfected with the help of scientific and technical means such as automation, gene therapy. In his books, Hawking often uses the word God to clarify what he presents. But in the new text, co-writing with the American physicist Leonard Mlodinow, he said, due to the obvious existence of physical laws, such as gravity, the universe can, and will continue to self-destruct, created out of nothing. The spontaneous formation of the universe is the reason why the universe and people exist. It is therefore unnecessary to include God in the creation of the universe, Hawking wrote in the book. Hawking's explanation begins with quantum mechanics, which explains how subatomic particles behave. In quantum studies, it's common to see subatomic particles like protons and electrons seemingly appear out of nowhere, stick around for a while, and then disappear again to a completely different location. Because the universe was once the size of a subatomic particle itself, it's plausible that it behaved similarly during the Big Bang, Hawking wrote. That still doesn't explain away the possibility that God created that proton-sized singularity, then flipped the quantum mechanical switch that allowed it to pop. But Hawking says science has an explanation here too. To illustrate, he points to the physics of black holes, collapsed stars that are so dense, nothing, including light, can escape their pull. Black holes, like the universe before the Big Bang, condense into a singularity. In this ultra-packed point of mass, gravity is so strong that it distorts time as well as light and space. Simply put, in the depths of a black hole, time does not exist. Because the universe also began as a singularity, time itself could not have existed before the Big Bang. Hawking's answer, then, to what happened before the Big Bang is, there was no time before the Big Bang. We have finally found something that doesn't have a cause, because there was no time for a cause to exist in, Hawking wrote. For me this means that there is no possibility of a creator, because there is no time for a creator to have existed in. Hawking says the first blow to Newton's belief that the universe could not have arisen from chaos was the observation in 1992 of a planet orbiting a star other than our Sun that makes the coincidences of our planetary conditions, the single sun, the lucky combination of Earth-Sun distance and solar mass, far less remarkable, and far less compelling as evidence that the Earth was carefully designed just to please us human beings, he writes. Hawking explained that, since the universe has an infinite number of galaxies, and each galaxy has an infinite number of planets, it is very likely that the Earth is not the only place where life is present. Even our universe exists with many other universes. The other universes have the same laws of physics as ours, that is, they are also created out of nothing, not by the hand of God. If God is human-oriented, wouldn't you expect him to create a universe in which humans feature prominently? You'd expect humans to occupy most of the universe, existing across time. Yet that isn't the kind of universe we live in. Humans are very small, and space, as Douglas Adams once put it, is big, really, really big. Scientists estimate that the observable universe, the part of it we can see, is around 93 billion light-years across. The whole universe is at least 250 times as large as the observable universe. Our own planet is 150 kilometers away from the Sun. Earth's nearest stars, the Alpha Centauri system, are 4 light-years away, that's around 40 trillion kilometers. Our galaxy, the Milky Way, contains anywhere from 100 to 400 billion stars. The observable universe contains around 300 sextillion stars. Humans occupy the tiniest fraction of it. The landmass of planet Earth is a drop in this ocean of space. Like Adam's Centauri, the universe is really too old, probably more than 13 billion years old. Earth is about 4 billion years old, and humans have evolved about 200,000 years ago. Temporarily speaking, man existed in the blink of an eye. In 2011, in the scientific film Curiosity for the Discovery Channel, Hawking asked, "Did God create the universe?" He affirmed that, in order to create the universe, God had no time, since before the Big Bang happened, time did not exist. At Google's Zeitgeist conference in 2011, Hawking also said that philosophy is dead. Philosophy, he believes, has not kept pace with the modern development of science, and that scientists have become the leading torchbearers of the quest to discover knowledge. Hawking believes that philosophical problems can be answered by science, especially new scientific theories that will lead us to a very different new picture of the universe and our place in it. At the end of his lecture at the California Institute of Industry, the genius cosmologist made a point about saving humanity. We need to continue to explore space for the future of humanity. I don't think we will live 1,000 years if we don't finally run out of this fragile planet. Hawking's lecture in California was very popular with the public. Although the subject of it was purely scientific, the people who wanted to listen to it were still very large. This argument will do little to persuade theistic believers, but that was never Hawking's intent. As a scientist with a near-religious devotion to understanding the cosmos, Hawking sought to know the mind of God by learning everything he could about the self-sufficient universe around us. While his view of the universe might render a divine creator and the laws of nature incompatible, it still leaves ample space for faith, hope, wonder, and, especially, gratitude. Stephen Hawking has been considered the king of theoretical physics of the world for many decades. He is famous for his studies on black holes in the universe. Hawking also pursued his goal of finding a unifying theory to resolve the contradictions between Albert Einstein's theory of relativity and quantum theory. Hawking used to hold the position of Lucasian Professor of Mathematics at Cambridge University, England. This is also the title that Newton held. The book A Brief History is the most famous publication written by Professor Hawking in his lifetime, and has sold more than 13 million copies worldwide. At the age of 20, Hawking was diagnosed with motor neuron disease, MND, predicted only 2 years to live. As the years passed, he did not die, but his mobility and communication became increasingly limited, and he ended up living in a wheelchair and talking on a voice synthesizer. When he died at the age of 76, he became the scientist, the longest-lived MND. His war against illness was told vividly in the movie The Theory of Everything, 2014, starring British actor Eddie Redmayne. Hawking's role also brought the Oscar for Redmayne in 2015. What conclusions can we draw from all of this? We will obviously all draw very personal and individual conclusions. Do you believe in God or in science? Leave a comment to let us know. Thank you for watching the video, and see you next time in the video. If you liked the video, please like the video to support us. If this is your first time coming to our channel, please subscribe Ask Kpop Entertainment to discover more interesting videos. See you again.